Yo, yo, it's the Red Blue Podcast crew. Reviewing flicks, both old and new. Red and blue, not political. Nah, man, chill. It was Marvel versus DC till we lost that thrill. Don't stress the episode, don't ask the season. We double up franchises, don't ask for a reason. Moti's got rules that nobody gets. His takes on movies, they're wild as it gets. He's got Superbald Mac and Gray by his side, trying to keep it sane while they're in for the ride. Moti's measures are out of control, but in the end he's got the final role. Yeah, that Blue Podcast, come check the scene. Movies old and new, know what I mean?
Here we are talking about the Rocketeer. Matt, why the Rocketeer?
Good question again. I feel the Rocketeer is underrated superhero movie. It was released in 1991. I see this movie for the first time like 3 or 4 years ago for the purpose of the other podcast I'm in, and I do this chronic, this chronicle where I talk about franchise. The movie tried to be a franchise, but not working. And my first subject was this movie because when I do research for this chronicle, I find this movie was a perfect example of that. Back then, Disney tried to create a superhero franchise with this comic book. The Rocketeer was a comic book before it was a movie, but the movie fell so miserably on the box office. The critique was okay, was good, but the movie was not. The box office was so bad. Then the franchise was killed on the start with the first movie. When the first movie was produced, it's supposed to start the trilogy with the TV show and other stuff. But this is the one only thing you have about this franchise. That is sad because the movie is good. I like the movie. I think it's one of the best superhero movie back then in the 90s. And this period in this era, you have not many great superhero movie. Batman, of course. But other than that, the superhero genre was not big as today. The wave of superhero genre was not started. It was started many years ago with the Blade and the Spider-Man X-Men movie, and after that with the MCU and other movie in the same way. But back then, many studios tried to create an superhero movie, and Disney tried the first attempt to create a franchise of superhero was this movie, and that not a coincidence. The director of this movie, Johnson, was the director of the first Captain America movie because he was well done. The job we had done for this movie was so well done that he used the same formula for the Captain America movie, and Captain America movie, the first one, is good. I like this one very much, but for the purpose of this movie, I see why many people don't like the movie. I see this flaw, but I feel that the story is well done, and the actor, the main actor, sure he's not a big e-star back then and not today. Billy Campbell, this cousin is more famous, Bruce Campbell, but he's perfect for the role. He played this pilot. This pilot want to be famous for what he is, and he has a girlfriend played by Jennifer Connelly. She's not just the love interest; she played part of the story. I like that. So many superhero movie before and after that don't use female character good and the good way. Many movies just she is the love interest of the main hero, but Jennifer Connelly in this movie she play a much more interesting character. She's an actress, and she be take by the main villain played by Timothy Dalton. Timothy Dalton is perfect.
James
And
Bond.
yeah, that was this movie wasn't after this take on James Bond. This career was not in a good way after that, and he tried many things to rebuild that. And one of the thing he tried is this movie tried to be the bad guys for once, and that worked great for I think he's played this method actor and spy for the Nazi, and he has so much charisma in the role, and he's so evil and so charisma. You can hate this character. He's a good villain for what it is. So yeah, for me, the movie is a good story. I feel the big issue I have with the movie, and many people have the same, is that the Rocketeer character is the Spiro use a rocket to fight a Nazi with handgun and other stuff. But in the movie, we have just one major scene when he uses the rocket. In the scene when he save pilot in the air, and he do many seconds in there with the rocket. The first time you have the full costume with the helmet, and after that you have some action sequence, but not, and there's the same level of the as this second was. And I think it's the one the big flaw with the movie. You have a hero who use rocket, he can fly, and you not use that. And I understand the movie had not a big budget, and back then was complicated to do that kind of scene. I know the movie use a replica doll to do the air scene with the Rocketeer, and some green screen for some scene, and you can see that in the movie. The movie, I think, the movie deserves more budget for what it is, because the story is very good, but the action is not at the same level. We have some good action, but not with the rocket of functionality. But in the end, good entertainment, good action movie, good superhero movie, and that movie proved that Bill Campbell is a good actor. Unfortunately, he's not have a big career after that. He mostly known for TV show, I think. But you have Jennifer Connelly. She has a big career after that. She back then she was in many movie. She was so famous and so beautiful. So many people love her back then. She was a crush for so many young kid back then. But as today, she is so beautiful. She was in the Top Gun 2, and man, this actress is she has like 15 50, and she look so gorgeous, so beautiful. And Timothy Dalton had not a good career, but he tried so many things. I feel you can see he's a great actor. You know that the chance to do something bigger after James Bond, that opportunity. I remember him for James Bond for that, and for the Doom Patrol TV show, one of the best superhero TV show I can have seen. But yeah, for me, it's a good movie. I see why the movie not working. Other fun fact: the movie was released 2 weeks before Terminator 2, and back then Terminator 2 was the best, the most bigger movie of all of time. He obligate all movie around, and that movie create a big war for Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the movie has killed so many movie around because it was so it was so big when it was released, and one the movie was killed because of that. It was the Rocketeer of Eternity. So yeah, and I want to see this character again. I don't think we can see this character on the on the big screen, because the pulp genre is not appreciate anymore. But maybe in TV show it will work great. You have a animated TV show with the Rocketeer. I think you have just one season, and Bill Campbell do the voice acting for the TV show. So technically, the movie has a sequel, but as animated series, and not the same level. But I feel a real TV show with the Rocketeer set in the 15 would be so great to see. I hope Disney talked many years ago that he want to do that, but he not that yet. Maybe because, like I said, the pulp genre is not popular anymore. But yeah, for me, it was a good entertainment, and I feel the movie deserves more light on this movie, because it's a good movie, and so many people love superhero movie and not see that one. That was my case like 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm happy to see this movie and to see the movie again. And I talked this movie with many of my friends love the superhero movie or superhero stuff, and I suggest to see this movie, because back then was one of the best movie was done for that genre. And yeah, happy to talk with you about this movie, and I want to hear what you have to talk about that. If you love, you hate this movie, I want to hear that. So it's your turn, guys.
Thank you a lot for sharing. So, Superbald, what did you think of the Rocketeer?
I had never seen this. Despite being
Yeah,
yeah, despite
Same.
I was about 10 years old when this came out, and I was definitely like the target demographic. I had never seen it. Um, and yeah, it's a great movie. It does have its issues and everything, but yeah, it's a good movie. As Matt was saying, like it's an homage to like pulp serials and stuff like that.
exactly.
Flash Gordon, and comic books of from that era, from the 1930s, and it certainly has the aesthetic of the era. I thought they nailed that really well. Just everything, the 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 decor, the cars, everything, and the Dust Bowl 1930s and the Great Depression, and Art Deco as well. Like just like the Rocketeer's helmet is very, and the jetpack, it's very Art Deco. Um, and the aesthetic reminds me a bit of like the film Dick Tracy that came out right around this time. Um, but that was also set in the 30s and based on a comic book, so kind of normal it would have a bit of the same aesthetic. Um, and it's also very much an homage to like old Hollywood, like Neville Sinclair, played by Timothy Dalton. He's very much based on like Errol Flynn and Douglas Fairbanks, actors, swashbuckling actors from that era. Um, and also, this was the era of gangsters. I think this movie takes place in 1938, which is only a few years after Prohibition ended. It was the gangster era. Um, my main issue with the film, though, is the pacing. I found it a bit too long and a bit too slow. Like the first reveal of Billy Campbell as like the Rocketeer, and it's like 40 minutes into the movie. After that, it picks up, and uh, but yeah, I think some stuff could have been trimmed from this movie. They could have tightened it up a bit. But it's a good adventure movie, and the type that is I don't think is really made anymore.
That's
Um,
true.
I mean, yeah, we have a bunch of superheroes and everything, but now it's those are just like CG fests and everything. Speaking of CG, this movie didn't really have any because it wasn't. It was still very much in its infancy. I don't think they used any CG. I think it's all composite
Practical.
shots. Yeah, it's all practical effects and like, and when even like the scenes where he's flying and everything, that's like composite shots done on green screen. I think.
I
Um,
I know you use a little doll of Rocketeer for many scene when in flying in the sky.
The flame was CGI, probably, most
yeah, I
likely.
think there might have been some, but like it would not a whole lot because it was still very much in its infancy at the time.
Yeah.
Um, for the cast, great cast though. Billy Campbell. Throughout the whole movie, I kept thinking to myself, "Where have I seen this guy? What have I seen him?" And I had to go look up his IMDb, and then I and then I realized where I had seen him. He was in an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation called "The Outrageous Okana," where he played the character of Okana, and that is considered one of the worst episodes ever of Star Trek.
Damn, damn.
When you're known for this, you're known for that, you know?
Yeah. And apparently, he was actually in a relationship with Jennifer Connelly at the time that this movie was made. Um, and again, Jennifer Connelly, yeah, she was starting to make a name for herself. She was very young at the time. I think she was like maybe 20 or something when this came out. And the same year this came out, she was in another movie that I remember called Career Opportunities with Frank Whaley, where she and Frank Whaley, they get locked into a Target store overnight or something like that. Um,
Sounds
and
fun.
Matt was saying, she has aged well. Like
Yeah.
I've seen her in like more recent pictures of her, and she's aged rather gracefully. Yeah. Um, Alan Arkin, who played Billy Campbell, I think it was his father. Anyways, the older either his father or his boss, I don't remember. But anyways, great. Alan Arkin's one of my favorite actors. He passed away a few years ago, but he was one of my favorite actors. Very underrated, but a great character actor. Again, Neville Sinclair, played by Timothy Dalton. He yeah, he lost himself in the role, and I loved it. He was really great. Um, and as I was watching it, I realized because I'm as I mentioned, Billy Cannell was in Star Trek. There was a lot of Star Trek alum in this movie. The head mafia guy, Eddie Valentine, played by Paul Sorvino. He appeared in one time on Next Generation. Same thing with the guy who played Howard Hughes, Terry O'Quinn, also appeared in Next Generation. The getaway driver at the beginning when they're driving away, he's played by Max Gredenchik, who played Rom on Deep Space Nine. Um, the
Um,
big the big henchman Lothar, the guy with the big jaw, played by the late Tiny Ron Taylor. He appeared as Mayor Do in Deep Space Nine. Clint Howard's also in this movie. He's done a bunch of roles in Star Trek. Um, Weird.
you remember me for TV Old Queen? That well, the first time I see movie, that bugged me because the actor is now famous for the Lost TV show. And he played one of the
Yeah,
main character in the TV show, and when I see the movie, it's like, hey, he's from the Lost, and now he has hair because in the TV show he does not have hair. In this movie,
yeah,
he had hair, and he played the only true character from the story. He played Howard Hughes. Was
yeah. Howard Hughes was a real person. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
there, yeah. I think he's the only person in this movie who was a real person. Um, um, the real Howard Hughes, though, was a bit eccentric, much more eccentric than was portrayed in this movie. He had, at the time, it wasn't really recognized, but he had very serious mental health issues. Um,
That's sad and unfortunate.
yeah, they parody that in The Simpsons. I don't know if you remember the next episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns opens a casino, and he's at one point he has like long hair and long nails, and he's wearing like
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That was very much based on Howard Hughes towards the end of his life.
damn.
Um,
Interesting.
and there's a scene where he shows a little airplane to Smithers, and he's like, "Get in the airplane." That's a reference to a real airplane that Howard Hughes built. It was a giant airplane made out of wood called the Spruce Goose. We actually see they may actually make reference to this in the Rocketeer when Billy Campbell at one point he escapes from Howard Hughes and the FBI by like hanging on to like a model glider. That was a model of the Spruce Goose, and that's why Howard Hughes says, "Oh well, the son of a bitch it actually can fly," because they only built. I think the Spruce Goose they only built like a prototype, and they did actually manage to get it to fly, but it didn't fly very high, like only a few meters off the ground.
That was a
Um,
long time ago, so that's normal. It makes sense.
yeah. Well, it's because back then they just didn't build airplanes that big. Um, anyways, but yeah, I kind of regret not seeing this when I was a kid. I think I would have enjoyed it even more when I was a kid because I was very much in the target demographic for it. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it.
Oh,
Perfect.
well, thank you very much for sharing. I guess this is my goal. I only had a one issue, and maybe I will
Just
sound very
one.
harsh. Yeah, and maybe I will sound very harsh on the movie because it's a 1991 movie, but here I am. I don't think visual effect age well, especially with the jetpack and weird looking flame. I like that rocket is so important. It's the tool, it's the gadget. That's the reason why the main character is a hero, and
Yeah. In real
that
life, though, he
flame,
would have burned his legs off, though.
yeah, but that flame was looking so ugly. I cannot forgive this movie for having such a terrible flame. And it's a time where we had other James Bond movie with jets and planes, and I feel like visual effects should have been slightly better for that flame. But again, maybe it's because of the budget, maybe it's because it's 1991. But again, I don't think it aged well. It's like red-ish thingy there. It's just awful. I don't forgive the movie for that. But that was my only issue. Now I gotta say the sound effect and the music and the plane were all cool.
Yeah,
Um,
the soundtrack is so good.
it's legendary.
Definitely.
It's a thing of the legend. The cop chasing the criminal was very entertaining. The actor were really cool. The plane stuff was entertaining when Rocketeer tried to fly and save the guy in the plane. I For 1991, that's amazing. More of that. I think that aspect was well done, and it's shockingly good because again, it's almost 34, 35 years ago. It's crazy. That movie is older than me. It's around that age. It's crazy. I think that aspect was well made. And again, I seen my notes. The music is cool, so I really enjoyed that music. It's one of the highlights of the movie for me. Um, the villain were entertaining. The action was cool. The hero kissing the girl at her diner was very fun. The girl tricking the bad guy and hitting him was great. It felt like a standout moment. Um, she plays along only to trick the guy. It's respect there. And in the 90s, we were not in the girl power era. So seeing that in the 90s, it felt different and refreshing. It's a girl power moment that should happen more often in more modern movie. It actually made sense how she overpowered the guy because she was playing around and she was like pretending, and I think it was just well executed, that aspect. It's great. More of this. The big firefight at the end was cool. The one-liners throughout the movie were very fun, and the final fight was stuff of the legend. I don't have a lot more to say, unfortunately, but again, I like the experience. So thank you a lot, Matt, for suggesting such movie. Because of its age, I don't think I would have seen it, but that's right down the alley. I like. It's my kind of movie. So thank you, Matt. With that being said, any closing thoughts, guys, on Rocketeer?
Mm, not for me. I think we say I say what all I want to say about this movie. Uh, Fun fact: this movie. After I see this movie the first time, I brought some comic book similar to this story. I not brought Rocketeer comic book because as today you have not news a new comic about the character, but I bought a comic about one character from the Hellboy universe. I don't remember his name, but he have a claw on the chest. He's similar to the Rocketeer, but for the universe Hellboy. And I bought so many comics to just stay on this kind of story and universe because I like the pulp in the pulp. I like the pulp comic, and I feel I want to see more. I know the public not there anymore, but maybe I'm too late for that. But yeah,
What would be your grade out of 10, Matt?
like I see, it's the underrated superhero movie back then. When the and this period, yeah, in the 19th, the superhero genre is not a good formula for a movie. Some movie works, some movie was a disaster, and but this movie has a proof that we can do great superhero movie. It's a good example to see. But I see why the movie not working. This movie has some issue with the action, with the pacing, like you said, and maybe the movie need a more bigger actor to sell the thing. I recall that before Bill Campbell was choose, I think Johnny Depp was one of the actor on the list to play the character. Maybe the movie will sell more. It would be Johnny Depp was choose to that. But so for me, I think the movie deserves less like a 7.5, 0.8 of 10. Easy. He's not perfect, but he's a good example of a great superhero movie, and particularly for the when he was released. So yeah.
I agree with that statement. What about you, Superbald? What would be your grade out of 10?
I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10.
Pretty close to 8 too. I think maybe he deserves an 8 too. Yeah.
And I'm the crazy one, as usual. That's my thing. That's my glitch. 9.7, near perfection. I adore that thing. Thank you, Matt. So, yes,
What can I say? You are welcome.
we are out.
Yeah, Red Blue Podcast. Come check the scene. Movies old and new. Know what I mean? The Red Blue Podcast. Come check the scene. Movies old and new. Know what I mean?